What if INFJs aren't quiet? They're multilingual in subtext. Today we're decoding the secret language INFJs use to communicate, how a compliment can be a boundary, how silence becomes punctuation, and why their questions are actually X-rays. If you've ever walked away from an INFJ conversation thinking, I felt understood, but what just happened? Let's dive in. All right, first off, we've got the double meaning compliment. If you want to understand the INFJ secret language, you must first become fluent in the art of their compliments. Because what sounds like simple, genuine praise is often a masterclass in strategic communication. This is where their deep-seated aversion to conflict meets their genius-level emotional intelligence, creating a linguistic tool that is both a shield and a steering wheel. An INFJ would never bluntly say, "Your micromanaging is stressing everyone out." Instead, they will offer a carefully crafted observation that sounds like a compliment. "I'm always so impressed by your incredible attention to detail." On the surface, it's positive, but the subtext, the secret message, is a gentle redirection. "Your focus is too narrow. Please zoom out and trust the rest of the team." It's a verbal sleight of hand designed to solve a problem without creating a new one. They might tell a partner, "I love how independent you are," when their heart is truly saying, "I feel lonely and need more quality time from you." Or they'll tell a friend, "You're so resilient, you can handle anything," which is actually a covert way of asking, "Are you actually okay? Or are you just pretending to be strong?" This isn't about being manipulative or dishonest. For the INFJ, it's the most efficient and kind form of correction. They are speaking two languages simultaneously: the surface-level language of affirmation that maintains social harmony, and the deeper, intuitive language of unmet needs and subtle boundaries. They are offering a solution embedded within appreciation, believing the right person will hear the deeper truth. It's a test of emotional intelligence, a way of saying, if you can understand what I'm not saying, then you're someone I can truly connect with. So the next time an INFJ gives you a compliment, don't just hear the words, listen for the silent question hidden between the lines. That's where the real conversation begins. And now, let's dive into what I call the third door question. Forget yes or no. Forget simple multiple choice. The INFJ operates on a completely different frequency when they want to understand who you truly are. They aren't interested in the facts of your life. They are obsessed with the architecture of your mind. And to uncover that, they use what I call the third door question. This isn't just a question. It's a psychological master key designed to bypass your ego and access your core values. Imagine a building with two obvious entrances. One door is yes, the other is no. Most conversations happen there. But the INFJ, with their intuitive vision, always looks for and creates a hidden third door. They will never ask, "Was your vacation fun?" That leads to a dead end. Instead, they will ask, "What did the silence teach you when you were away?" Or, "What was the most unexpected moment that stuck with you?" They are not asking for your itinerary. They are asking for your introspection. This technique is a brilliant and covert screening process. The INFJ is a living, breathing values detector. The specific answer you give is almost irrelevant. What they are meticulously analyzing is your reasoning process. How do you approach a hypothetical? What principles do you unconsciously prioritize when there's no pressure to give a right answer? Your thought pattern reveals your integrity, your creativity, your empathy, and your hidden fears far more accurately than any direct line of questioning ever could. When an INFJ asks, "If you knew you would be remembered for one thing, what would you want to be?" They are not asking for your resume. They are placing your soul on a scale. They are measuring the weight of your ambitions against the depth of your character. They are listening for the harmony, or the dissonance, between your words and your authentic self. It's a question designed to see if your wavelength matches theirs, not just for a conversation, but for a connection. So when an INFJ poses one of these layered, philosophical questions, understand that you are not being tested on your knowledge. You are being invited to reveal the blueprint of your soul, and they are listening intently to see if the design resonates with their own. And third on the list, the pause code. In a world addicted to noise, the INFJ wields silence as a sophisticated language. This is not an empty void or a simple lapse in conversation. This is what I call the pause code, a highly nuanced system of nonverbal communication where everything unsaid carries the most profound meaning. For the INFJ, silence is not the absence of speech. It is speech in its purest, most concentrated form. To understand this, you must first understand the INFJ's cognitive wiring. Their mind is a relentless processor of hyperconnected thoughts and overwhelming emotional data. When you speak to them, they are not just hearing your words. They are analyzing your tone, your micro-expressions, the subtle shift in your energy, and the vast universe of subtext beneath your sentences. The pause is the essential buffer their brain requires to translate this avalanche of information into a response that is both authentic and compassionate. That moment of silence is them doing the deep work of truly understanding you. But the pause code is also their most powerful tool for signaling their internal state. A short, thoughtful pause often means I am carefully choosing my words to be accurate and kind. A longer, heavier silence might be a silent alarm bell, signaling what you just said has deeply conflicted with my values, and I am choosing peace over confrontation. And the most deafening silence of all, the one that feels like a door closing, is the final, unspoken verdict. A boundary has been irreparably crossed. The discussion is over. This language extends beyond real-time conversation. The timing of their text replies is a direct translation of the pause code into the digital realm. An immediate response is enthusiastic engagement. A delayed reply is often them processing the emotional weight of your message. And radio silence is the modern-day equivalent of a raised hand, a firm but quiet request for space to recalibrate. To communicate with an INFJ is to accept that the spaces between the words are just as important as the words themselves. It is an invitation to listen not just with your ears, but with your intuition. If you can learn to decipher the pause code, you will hear an INFJ's deepest truths, the ones they can never fully voice aloud. And fourth, mirror and tilt. If you've ever felt an uncanny sense of being deeply understood by an INFJ, like they just get you on a level few others do, you've likely been the subject of their most sophisticated social technique, the mirror and tilt. This is not mere imitation. It is a conscious, strategic two-step dance designed to build a bridge of trust, only to then guide you across it to a deeper, more truthful plane of conversation. It is the art of making you feel safe before they make you think deeply. The first step is the mirror. This is where the INFJ's extroverted feeling, their FE cognitive function, truly shines. They are master calibrators of social harmony. They will subtly reflect your body language, match the pace of your speech, and even adopt your specific vocabulary. If you're using casual slang, they might casually use it back. If you're speaking in technical terms, they will engage you on that same level. This mirroring is an unconscious signal to your brain that says, I am like you, I am safe, you can let your guard down. It's a profound act of empathy that creates an instant and powerful rapport. But the mirror is only the setup. The true genius of the INFJ lies in the tilt. Once that bond of trust is established and the channel of communication is wide open, they will introduce a single, precise, and often weighty word or concept that ever so gently shifts the entire axis of the conversation. They will be mirroring your relaxed, casual vibe, and then seamlessly drop a term like non-negotiable, integrity, or sole purpose into the dialogue. The tilt is never aggressive, it's almost conversational, but its impact is seismic. It's their way of testing the waters to see if you can handle the depth they crave. This mirror and tilt maneuver is the INFJ's solution to a fundamental dilemma: how to be their authentic, profound self in a world that often prefers small talk. The mirror is their offering of peace, a demonstration that they can speak your language. The tilt is the invitation, the glimpse into their world, the question of whether you're willing to meet them there. It's a linguistic dance of connection and discernment. They are not being two-faced. They are being layered. They are offering you a comfortable entry point into a conversation that was always destined to be anything but superficial. And fifthly, we've got metaphor maps. For the INFJ, the literal world is merely a collection of symbols pointing to a deeper, interconnected truth. Straightforward, factual language often feels utterly inadequate to describe the complex emotional and philosophical landscapes they navigate daily. This is why their native tongue, their true secret language, is the language of metaphor. They don't just use metaphors for flair, they think in them. They communicate through what I call metaphor maps. Rich, symbolic images that convey not just an idea, but an entire system of feeling, consequence, and meaning. This reliance on metaphor stems from a core tension within the INFJ psyche. Their dominant function, introverted intuition, perceives patterns, meanings, and future implications all at once, in a holistic flash of insight. It's an overwhelming, non-linear download of information. Their auxiliary function, extroverted feeling, then needs to translate that abstract internal vision into something others can understand and relate to, without causing offense or confusion. The metaphor is the perfect bridge. It allows them to express a critical observation in a way that is palatable, open to interpretation, and focused on the pattern rather than a personal attack. So, an INFJ will never simply say, "This business plan is poorly structured and destined to fail." That is too blunt, too personal, too damaging to harmony. Instead, they will draw you a metaphor map. This plan feels like we're trying to build a beautiful, elaborate house on top of a foundation of sand. In a single image, they have communicated instability, impending collapse, and the disconnect between surface-level aesthetics and structural integrity. They have critiqued the idea perfectly while completely avoiding a critique of the person. But here's the secret layer very few people see. The metaphor map is also a sophisticated test. When an INFJ shares one of these intricate images, they are doing much more than just explaining themselves. They are quietly gauging your response. If you simply nod and move on, you've likely only heard the surface-level story. But if your eyes light up and you respond, "You're right, and we haven't even considered what happens when it rains," you have proven something incredible. You have proven that you don't just hear their words, you see the same patterns they do. You have successfully decoded the map. In that moment, you are no longer just a conversation partner. You have become a fellow traveler, someone they can trust to navigate the deep waters of meaning with them. Their metaphors are both a shield and a searchlight, protecting the fragile harmony they cherish while scanning the darkness for a mind that sees the world in the same complex, beautiful, and interconnected way that they do.
Sixthly, we've got future frame probes. While most personality types are anchored in the present or nostalgic for the past, the INFJ's mind is a vessel permanently pointed toward the horizon. They live in the realm of potential, perpetually simulating outcomes and navigating the branching pathways of what could be. Their most powerful and subtle communication tool leverages this very strength. It's called the Future Frame Probe, and it is their master key to unlocking your true intentions, fears, and character without the defensive walls of the present moment. A future frame probe is a specific type of hypothetical question, but to call it that is to dramatically undersell its purpose. An INFJ isn't asking "what if" to daydream. They are running a sophisticated psychological diagnostic. By mentally transporting you to a point 6 months or 5 years in the future, they effectively bypass your present moment ego, your rehearsed answers, and your social masks. In this hypothetical space, there are no immediate consequences, which makes people astonishingly honest about their hopes and anxieties. So an INFJ will never directly ask the confrontational present tense question, "Are you really committed to this relationship?" That question triggers defensiveness. Instead, they will gently launch a future frame probe. Imagine us 5 years from now. Looking back, what do you hope we'll say we built together? Or in a business setting, they won't ask, "Do you think this project will fail?" They will ask, "If we fast forward a year and this project succeeded beyond our wildest dreams, what was the one thing we did right?" The genius of this technique is that it is a complete end run around your defenses. The INFJ pays little attention to the specific details of your imagined future. They are a values archaeologist, and your answer is the dig site. They are meticulously sifting through your response to uncover your core priorities. Are you focused on legacy or profit? On personal growth or external validation? On stability or adventure? Your vision of the future reveals the blueprint of your present-day soul. When an INFJ speaks in these future frames, they are inviting you into the very landscape where their own consciousness resides. They are not just making conversation, they are conducting a covert, compassionate audit of your compatibility with their own long-term vision. They are searching for a co-author for the next chapter of their story.
Your answer to a question about tomorrow tells them everything they need to know about who you are today. It is the ultimate test of alignment, hidden within a simple, beautiful question about the future. Did you recognize these signs? Share your own INFJ language discoveries in the comments below. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.